Alright, I've had these Trigger Beat Schillmeier skates for a few months now. Got to get a couple sessions in on them, and I want to let you know how it went. Check it out. First impression of these skates, and really the reason why I bought them, it's just because of how sick they look. I love the classic color scheme, white and black. You just can't go wrong. They look fresh, they look clean. They remind me of the old USD Throne 4s from back in the day. Just, you know, a really sick color scheme. It's got that old school flavor. Little wider body, you know, not like the V13s or the M12s. And I just really wanted to rock that classic style. So, you know, I know that's not the most important thing about skates, you know, how they look. But that's really why I took the dive and I bought these skates, because I just thought they looked so sick. And I was happy to support a new skate company, Trigger, and Beat Schillmeier, obviously one of the most epic, you know, hammer skaters of all time. Happy to support and try out these new skates. Aside from just how fresh they look, what I like about these skates is also the sole plate. You got the one-piece sole. It just slides really nice. It's really smooth. It's really sturdy. It feels solid, you know, there's no flimsiness. It doesn't feel like any parts are moving when you're grinding, or even when you're just riding these skates in general. They feel nice and solid. They make a really solid thud noise when you land. You don't get any squeaky, you know, plastic noises or anything. They feel nice and solid. They don't feel like a cheap skate at all. So the one-piece soles, they slide really nice. The frames are really solid. You got the freestyle frame here with basically like the juice block setup. So, you know, you can't skate anti-rocker with these. There's no opportunity to switch out the middle wheels, so you're always going to be rocking freestyle with these frames. But that's sick, and I think people who are going for these skates are really more focused on street skating, which is what this frame setup is all about. Unfortunately, I didn't get to skate any street with these. I just skated park in my box with them. But I had no issues. I didn't get stuck on anything, so it wasn't like this frame setup was not conducive for park skating as well. These wheels are also really sick. These are Trigger brand wheels, 57 millimeter, 90 hardness, and yeah, they were really sick. I don't know, I read something online too that black wheels just feel better, and for whatever reason, these wheels were really sick. I felt a lot of traction, a lot of control with them, so yeah, I speak really highly of the Trigger stock wheel. Those were great. So yeah, sole plate, frame, wheels, all really solid, really well designed. The boot also, you know, I took a couple of spills, and it wasn't like these boots were getting scraped up or frayed or anything. You know, there's no disconnect with any of these different pieces of fabric. The sewing, the stitching is all still solid. You know, a little bit of scuffing up here, but it seems like these skates would really go the distance with durability if you skate them, you know, for a long time. Aside from that, you know, I got to get into the one thing that I really did not like about these skates, and that's the liner. You can see here the liner is really thick, and you know, I'm cool with that. I like a thick liner. They feel nice and snug, like they fit around your foot. That kind of gives me a feeling of more control. So, you know, I read online that these were puffier, thicker liner, and I was happy to try that out. But it turns out that just the feel of it, it's too hard. It pushes into the back of your leg, like your Achilles heel. It puts pressure on it. You know, the tongue is a little bit softer, but this back material, I don't know what's different, but it just feels harder, and it pushes back into the back of your leg, and yeah, it wasn't the most comfortable. And then when you get your foot in there, the tongue also, I guess, is a little puffy. It pushes down on your foot. So the biggest issue I had with these skates, every time I skated, I had to take them off every 15 minutes or so because my feet were going numb. Now, I don't know if that's common. I don't know if other people have had that issue. You know, I've heard people who say that these skates did hurt their feet, and they tried to do a couple of workarounds. You know, I heard of a guy who put a big thick can in here overnight to try to push back on this. So yeah, I don't know. If you have these skates and you figured out a way to make them more comfortable, please, you know, put it in the comments and let me know, let other people know. But yeah, that was just the one downfall, the liner. And then the thing is that this is a one piece skate, liner skate combo, so you can't take the liner out, you can't replace it, you know, it is what it is. So that was the hardest thing about these skates. It just made my feet go numb and they just weren't comfortable. Another thing, you know, these are size 10 skates and I rock size 10. I've never had size 9, size 11. I've always been size 10 skates. And these, like I'm saying, they're tight, they put pressure on my foot, but if I would land forward or if I would, you know, hit a crack, my foot would move forward. There's a little bit extra space here and my toes would move forward. So after that would happen, I'd have to go to like a ramp or a fence or something and I would have to kick the back of it to get my heel back in place. So yeah, that was kind of frustrating to have to do that continually. I've had that happen in one other skates, the Rollerblade New Jack 5s. I had that, they came with blank liners. So once I was experiencing that, I just swapped out those liners for stock Razor liners that I had, and that problem went away. So it seems like it is a liner issue, but you know, with these skates you can't replace the liner, so don't really know how to fix that. And you know, after almost every trick having to kick something to get your foot back in place, for me, that wasn't great. So you know, maybe people's the size of their foot, if you're a 10.5 and you rock the size 10, that won't be an issue, but for me, that was an issue. And then another thing, the liner is just so thick, I could only get the strap to buckle in 2 snaps. That was the most I could ever get it to buckle. So, you know, I don't know if that's just a specific thing with me. And it didn't feel like the skates were, you know, flimsy or wobbly or anything, so it wasn't really an issue. But yeah, that was just another thing. I could only get it to buckle 2 snaps in. So yeah, I mean, the liner really was the deal breaker with these skates. Other than that, they're lightweight, they're nice. I got a pair of Volos here. I actually weighed these against the Volos and these came in a ½ pound lighter. So 8 ounces lighter, which was, you know, nice. And I did feel that while I was skating them. They were a little bit lighter. When I would jump up, you know, I would feel a little bit of a difference from the other skates that I had been skating. Yeah, really, the downfall of these skates for me was the liner. Other than that, sole plates, frames, wheels, just the sturdy feel of them, all great, lightweight. So yeah, if they can do something to fix the liner, and maybe some of you guys have some input, some, you know, tricks and tips of what you guys did to make the skates a little bit more comfy and broken in. I don't have, you know, the patience or the time. I don't skate often enough to really break these in, so I'm just going to cop a new pair of skates. But yeah, people who have more time, you know, are able to skate more frequently, maybe they're able to break them in and it works out fine. So yeah, that's just the one thing, the liner. But aside from that, you know, these are cool skates. Respect to Trigger for, you know, trying something new and coming out with these, and I you know, do hope they continue to try to refine them and improve on them and continue to produce skates and, you know, be a competitor in the marketplace. It's cool to have more diversity. And as I'm looking at these, it's just another cool thing. I always like the frame bolts that only require 1 Allen key. So here, you know, the triangular shape just stays in place, so you only need 1 Allen key to get that out. That's always cool. So yeah, that's my review of the Trigger skates. Hope you guys liked it. Please let me know your thoughts on the review in general, and if you have the Trigger skates, please, you know, let me know what you liked about them, what you didn't like, if you agree with the things that I said in this review. If you didn't, please let me know in the comments.